Stroud looks to throw on the first play. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You look at this Raiders defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got it.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Stroud. That one complete. It's tanked down. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Down at the 25.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. And Stroud now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle there by Chris Barnes.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get 4 there down to about the 12-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here's 3rd and 6. Stroud looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Myers in motion right. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. To throw is Fields. Short throw caught by Bowers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris. The Raiders at 2-10 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well, because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the first.
Agreed. Anytime you can force them to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the first down and get a fresh set.
Huge 4th down conversion. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Here we go.
Now Fields. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Here's Fields. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They snap it to Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy Bunting. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
On play action, Fields. And it's caught. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get into pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Here we go.
this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Here we go, son. Go.
Dobbins not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football. Just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up getting spilled for a loss.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown. Brock Bowers from 6 yards away. And the Raiders are able to widen their advantage. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Stroud out of the gun here. And the Raiders have got him. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing now is Stroud. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
There's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Fields now to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guy.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now a handoff looking right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. Now Stroud. Rolling to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Play action. It's Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to throw. Fields. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Fields. That is incomplete.
As soon as he leaped out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Fields. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Here's the Raiders punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Stroud. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Take Dell, 40 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Jared Stingley picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
At their own 33.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Here we go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Got his man, Dell. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Here we go, son.
Off play action, Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here we go.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, and that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Over the middle, it's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play. And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This has not been a fun game for this defense. They've definitely had their share of struggles, but they needed to make a play right there, and they finally get it done on 3rd and goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Short throw caught by Bowers. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
On the draw, here's White. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 40-yard line.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning.
That's good. We're on another Las Vegas.
Here we go.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. This is caught. Touchdown Raiders. Brock Bowers with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again. Here are the 4th. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. get the football. That's their mantra.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Second and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Stroud looks to throw. That is intercepted. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Here's first and 10.
Here we go. Right.
Back to throw. Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's second down.
Here we go. Hey, Ken. Right.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. First and 10. Now Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Right.
Here's Fields. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
All eyes on Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late fourth quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. come up. 1st and 10 here. Now Stroud. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Oh, what a play. You got to use one of those timeouts.
Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Stroud. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. He's got room to roam. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, but they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
Don't jump. Ready? Up, 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 up. Go.
They'll look to throw. Dobbins with it. And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So for the Texans, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.